Hello, this is Team 2, and we will be evaluating Target Corporation's Tarnished Reputation, a Failure in Canada and a Massive Data Breach by Emily Tucker, Jalen Davis, Brooke Powell, and Ronald Talbert. And here we have our table of contents showing what each team member will be discussing. I will start us off by presenting an overview of Target Corporation's strategic and financial performance from 2015 to 2024 with a focus on key challenges, strategic positioning, and lessons learned from major incentives. Financial performance from 2015 to 2024. Target's financials have seen major ups and downs. A $1.6 billion loss in 2015 stemmed from its fail in Canada expansion. From 2016 to 2021, income surged nearly $7 billion, driven by digital growth and product expansion. Products dipped in 2022 due to supply chain issues, but rebounded in 2023 with a 49% increase. In 2024, gains leveled off slightly, with net income down 1.14% and sales dropping 0.8%. Market and competitive challenges. Target has faced intense competition from retail giants like Walmart and Amazon, which has impacted its sales growth. Operational issues, especially inventory shortages, have hurt customer satisfaction. As of April 29, 2025, Target's stock is trading at $96.91. Target's strategic positioning. Target positions itself as a general merchandise retailer with a mission to help all families discover the joy of everyday life. It targets middle-class customers by combining affordability with quality and style. This consumer-centric approach is supported by its emphasis on convenience, product diversity, and branded in-store experience. Target's corporate, business, and functional objectives. Target's corporate goals center on growth and brand leadership, with past efforts like failed Canadian expansion aimed at global reach. Business objectives focus on boosting market share, customer satisfaction, and efficiency. Functionally, Target has prioritized IT integration, cybersecurity, and supply chain improvements, especially after the 2013 data breach exposed key vulnerabilities. Strategy execution and the misalignment. Despite well-defined goals, there was a clear disconnect between Target's corporate, business, and functional strategies. The rapid expansion into Canada lacked adequate planning, particularly in supply chain and customer insight. Similarly, the technology investment fell short due to poor cybersecurity, damaging customer trust and brand integrity. These missteps reveal how critical it is for strategy to be aligned across all levels of the organization. Now I'll be discussing the corporate governance and leadership at Target Corporation, focusing especially on how the board and executives navigated two major crises, the 2013 data breach and the failed expansion into Canada. We'll also look at the leadership styles and how the company evolved after these challenges. Target's board of directors in 2015. So in 2015, Target's 10-member board, led by CEO Brian Cornell and Douglas Baker Jr., balanced experience and new perspectives. While they provided strategic oversight, their approach during the crisis, like the data breach and the Canadian exit, was mostly reactive, focusing on high-level decisions rather than proactive risk management. Steinfeld was CEO during both major crises and had worked at Target for over 30 years. While he had a deep experience in retail and operations, his leadership was criticized for being slow and reactive. His ambitious plan for the Canadian expansion lacked proper testing, and his crisis response to the data breach was delayed. Early in his tenure, he was seen as a visionary leader, but under pressure, his style shifted more to autocratic, top-down approach. This shift limited the organization's ability to adapt quickly during the crisis. Looking more at the most recent leadership, executives like Michael Fidelic and James Lee and Venema reflect a trend of internal promotions. These leaders have been with the company since around 2015 or 2016, and they bring continuity and instrumental knowledge. Their relatively short tenures and their current roles suggest that Target is still evolving in its leadership team to meet new challenges. Here we have the board's contributions and challenges during the major events. After the data breach, the board helped lead cybersecurity improvements and efforts to regain customer trust. They also made the tough but necessary call to shut down Target's Canadian operations. However, the board was often reactive rather than proactive. They approved strategies without fully questioning execution risk, which contributed to the costly missteps. Target's biggest governance challenges came from weak execution processes. For example, in Canada, they opened over 120 stores without piloting or testing logistics. And although they had IT briefings, the board never stress tested their cybersecurity system before the 2013 breach. The gap between planning and execution was clear. Strategy was often set at the top, but implementation lacked coordination across the departments. Leadership tiers didn't conduct proactive risk assessments or scenario planning, leading to a slow and disjointed response in both crises. Now, Jalen and I will be walking you through an analysis of Target's external and industry environments. We will start with a macro-level PEP analysis, looking at the political, economic, sociocultural, and technological factors that influence the company. Then we will dive into Porter's 5 forces to evaluate the competitive dynamics. Then Jalen will conclude with a summary of the main operations and threats, along with the strategic takeaways for Target. Target's pest analysis at the macro level. Political factors significantly shape Target's operation. Changes in taxes, minimum wage laws, and environmental regulations can alter costs and compliance requirements. Trade policies, such as tariffs, can increase the price of goods sourced internationally, and political instability, especially in key supplier countries like China, can disrupt the supply chain. On the opportunity side, favorable trade agreements could reduce costs, and government support for green initiatives can help Target if it continues investing in sustainability. However, the stricter labor laws and global instability remain major threats that could both affect flexibility and profitability. Economic conditions play a direct role in consumer spending behavior. During economic downturns, consumers pull back on discretionary purchases, impacting Target's non-essential categories. Inflation raises product costs, and high interest rates reduce borrowing power. On the flip side, a recovering economy and higher disposable incomes could lead to an increased spending. Target can also benefit from low interest rates to expand operations, but the threats of inflation and potential recessionary trends need to be carefully managed to maintain pricing and margins. Operates in a fast-changing social landscape. Consumers are increasingly prioritizing sustainability, ethical sourcing, and digital convenience. An aging population creates new product needs, while Gen Z and millennials demand both value alignment and tech-forward solutions. There's also growing pressure for companies to lead diversity and inclusion. These trends offer Target opportunities to innovate its product lines and reinforce its brand as socially responsible. However, failing to keep pace with these expectations or missteps in areas like diversity could quickly erode customer trust. And finally, for our pest analysis, we have the technological factors. So technology is transforming retail, and Target must stay ahead. The growth of e-commerce is critical. Advancements in AI and automation offer efficiencies in supply chain and personalization. But there's also an increasing risk. Cybersecurity threats, especially after Target's high-profile data breach, remain a serious concern. Falling behind in technology can give competitors like Amazon an even greater edge. To stay competitive, Target needs an ongoing investment in tech, both to improve operations and protect customer trust. I will be going over Porter's 5 forces at the micro level. Target benefits from strong brand loyalty and scale, making U.S. entry tough for new rivals. Though its own failed expansion into Canada highlights the challenges newcomers face, buyers now hold more power, easily switching brands if price or stock disappoints. While Target usually has supplier leverage, in Canada it suffered from poor vendor ties. Substitutes like Amazon and Walmart are always a threat, especially when Target falls short on value. Overall, intense competition, especially from Walmart, exposed key vulnerabilities in both markets. Target strategic implications. Looking ahead, Target needs to double down on its digital strategy and invest in personalization and automation. Strengthening supplier relationships, especially in the new markets, is critical. There's also a clear need to prioritize diversity and environmental initiatives, not just for reputation, but for market alignment. Lastly, Target must avoid one size fits all approach and tailor its strategies for each regional market. Success depends on being agile, locally aware, and globally connected.
Let's look at the factors affecting Target. One of those factors are customers. Customers play a central role in retail. They are price sensitive, expect high quality products, and demand a consistent shopping experience across channels, in store, and on. The next factor is competitors. Competitors like Walmart, Amazon, Costco, and Loblaws aggressively capture market share in both the U.S. and Canada. Look at its suppliers. Target suppliers are vital to inventory levels, pricing, and product assortment. Now let's look at Target's current and future opportunities and threats. Starting with opportunities. Omnichannel retail growth is one. Investing in seamless online and in-store experiences such as curbside pickup, same-side delivery, security innovation. Strengthening cybersecurity can rebuild trust and differentiate label expansion. Target's own brands, example, Good and Gather and Cat and Jack, are highly international. Expansion is another opportunity. Learning from Canada, Target can reevaluate international markets, sustainability, and ESG positioning, increasing consumer focus on ethical sourcing, carbon footprint, and social responsibility. Physical environment and sustainability issues. Starting off with climate change. Climate change affects supply chains, global carbon emissions. What's the current impact? Retail operations consume significant energy, such as lighting, heating and cooling, refrigeration, and transportation, as water scarcity and usage. The current impact. Water-intensive products such as apparel, cleaning supplies, and agriculture-based goods are vulnerable to droughts and regulations as waste management and circular economy. The current impact is the increased regulation on plastic waste, packaging, and product consumer demand and sustainability. The current impact is young consumers, such as millennials and Gen Zs, prefer eco-conscious brands and sustainable packaging. Now looking at the internal environment of Target Corporation, how the company's structure, culture, and core resources align to support its business
strategy and success. Starting with Target's organizational structure, they use a matrix structure, blending functional departments with cross-divisional collaboration. This means that teams work vertically within departments like marketing or finance and horizontally across business units, leading to faster, more coordinated decision-making. This is especially important for a company like Target that thrives on timely seasonal releases, rapid merchandising updates, and integrated in-store and online promotions. This decentralized decision-making model empowers regional managers to make choices that fit their markets, something that helped Target excel during the pandemic when different regions had different consumer needs. It also supports the company's omni-channel strategy, which aims to provide a seamless shopping experience whether customers are online, in-store, or using pickup and delivery services. Talking about corporate culture, culture is not just a buzzword at Target, it's a strategic asset built around inclusivity, innovation, and service. Their culture promotes open communication and a strong sense of belonging. Programs like Prepare for Next, which help employees prepare for leadership roles, show that development isn't just encouraged, it's expected. Even internationally, in its global sourcing offices in India and China, Target has adapted local traditions into its workplace while maintaining the same core values and commitment to equity. Productivity and performance are managed through continuous improvement processes, including Six Sigma, which Target uses to streamline operations and reduce errors. But what really sets Target apart is its focus on the guest experience. One important lesson Target has learned came from its international experience. Their entry into Canada was a high-profile failure due to poor market research and execution. Instead of repeating the same mistake, Target shifted its focus to global sourcing, supply chain partnerships, and e-commerce, leveraging international resources without overextending its footprint. On the corporate resources side, Target's marketing stands out. Their strategy isn't just to sell products, it's to build a relationship with the guest. From personalized digital experiences through Target Circle to exclusive collaborations with influencers and celebrity, Target maintains a fresh and modern brand identity. Their Target Zero initiative, which promotes sustainable products, taps into the growing demand for ethical consumption, especially among young shoppers. Looking at their financials, Target remains solid. They have strong return on assets and equity, show efficiency, and their balanced capital structure ensures they can fund innovation while staying agile. Financial teams at Target don't just crunch numbers, they support strategic choices, helping evaluate new projects and guide performance at both the corporate and store level.
Let's analyze the strategic factors of Target. Target's mission statement is to help all families discover the joy of everyday life. Their vision statement is to co-create an equitable and regenerative future together with our guests, partners, and communities. Some of Target's current objectives are to achieve net zero greenhouse gas emissions across operations and supply chain by 2040, source 100% of electricity from renewable resources by 2030, and make 100% of own brand packaging recyclable, compostable, or reusable by 2025. Next is the strategic focus and prioritization. The positive, focusing on digital innovation, international expansion, or health/wellness could open up new high growth areas. The negative, however, dropping sustainability or affordability themes may. Now we perform a SWOT analysis on Target. 1 is strong brand recognition, efficient supply chain. Is private label success. Strength, digital transformation. And the last strength, sustainability initiatives, weaknesses. The first weakness is limited international perception of higher prices. It's on physical stores, chain vulnerabilities, limited product diversification. With these strengths and weaknesses come opportunities. One of those opportunities is e-commerce expansion, sustainable product demand. Another opportunity is technological advancement. Opportunity is health and wellness market. Opportunity is strategic partnerships. Come threats. One of those threats is intense competition, economic downturns, regulatory changes. Is cybersecurity risks. Is supply chain disruption.
Now, I'll be going over the strategic alternatives and the recommended strategy. Why the Target strategy failed. Target expansion into Canada and its response to the data breach both highlighted a common issue. Trying to apply the U.S. strategy without local adaptation. In Canada, the company copied its U.S. supply chain pricing and the IT systems, but these didn't translate well to Canada's consumer expectations or infrastructure. Similarly, when the data breach occurred, outdated cybersecurity controls and a weak response plan led to major delays. Both situations reflect deeper problems, had rigid strategy, lack of flexibility, or poor cross-functional execution. Forward, Target had 3 major strategic options. First, a stability strategy. Exit Canada and focus on remaining margin in the U.S. through automation and cost cuts. Second, a growth strategy, which re-entered Canada with a small pilot to test demand. A third, a retrenchment strategy, which pulled back further, exit underperforming banners, and focus on the niche U.S. concepts. But the best approach is a balanced one. Exit Canada, which is a high potential U.S. markets, and grow Target's online program, which this strategy reduce risk while supporting the small growth. The strategy is a focused, phased approach. First, Target should leave Canada completely. Then it should target expansion in the select U.S. cities using smaller, flexible stores, formats that better match urban needs. At the same time, the company should grow its presence through Target Plus while improving cybersecurity and supply chain systems, but starting small and scaling what works, Target can rebuild stronger with less risk. The strategy unfolds over 5 years. In the first 2 years, Target exits Canada and fixes IT and security weaknesses. Years 3 and 4 focus on piloting new store formats and expanding the Target Plus platform. By year 5, the brand refreshes and scales up successful initiatives. Key departments must align. Operations may adjust warehouse networks. IT needs to secure systems, and marketing and HR will need to support new formats. Progress should be tracked using ROI, net promoter score, and lead time and security metrics. This strategy works because it balances focus with flexibility. It reduces risk, plays to Target's core strength like branding and supply chain, and allows for small-scale testing before major investments. Importantly, it helps restore customer trust, encourages internal innovation, and positions Target to succeed in a fast-changing retail environment. Now, I'll be going over implementation. Implementation strategy overview. Target is rolling out a $225 million implementation plan managed by a new strategy executive office. The goal is to support long-term growth and agility by focusing on three major areas: exiting the Canada market to relocate resources, piloting smaller Target Plus urban stores in U.S. cities, and investing in cybersecurity and supply chain. This centralized approach ensures alignment and accountability across all initiatives. Oversight. To stay on track, the Strategy Execution Office will monitor progress every 6 months using clear performance indicators like lease closures, store sales, customer satisfaction, and system response times. If any project falls more than 10% behind, we'll investigate and adjust quickly. The overall goal is to rebuild brand strength, grow strategically, and ensure Target is equipped for the future. We'll be going over evaluation and reassessment. Strategy stays on track. We'll implement a comprehensive evaluation system built around a unified strategy scoreboard. This will track key performance indicators like pilot store revenue, cybersecurity incident detection times, distribution center efficiency, and customer satisfaction. Weekly dashboards and monthly reports will help us monitor progress, compare performance to industry benchmarks, and make fast data-driven adjustments where necessary. To ensure alignment and accountability, we'll also establish strong control and sensitive mechanisms to reinforce alignment with our strategy. These include 6-month reviews, automated alerts for underperformance, and clear go or kill criteria for projects that aren't meeting expectations. To drive motivation, store leaders, IT managers, and project teams who hit or exceeded their targets will be rewarded through bonuses and career development opportunities. These measures ensure we're not only monitoring performance, but also rewarding the right behaviors and results. And this is Team 2 evaluation of Target's tarnished reputation.